Okay, this video is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to talk about adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Sounds simple enough, doesn't it? Really, the world's standard today kind of puts people in positions of adultery that they shouldn't be in. One of the best examples I got on this was King David. He had multiple wives. He had more than one wife, and for that, he wasn't violating any law. God still liked him, still loved him. Where David messed up was breaking a whole bunch of the other commands, even in his status and situation. He just kind of threw them all in the pile and broke them all, and he didn't get off scot-free. So David decides to steal another man's wife, kill the guy in the process to get his wife, and get jiggy with her in the process of it. But I thought the gods don't kill gods. That's what I said in another video. Well, I don't know if the guy was of that status or not. Either way, whether David is or is not, was or wasn't, still doesn't make it right for him to just go say, I'm going to go kill you and take your wife, regardless of that man's status. Even if he was just a dog animal, still don't make it right to go kill him and take his wife. Thou shalt not kill, right? Well, in this case, he did. And he wasn't right for it. Even if that guy was just a flat-out animal, David was still in the wrong for killing him and taking his wife. And God didn't let it slide one bit. David got the wrath. But back to adultery. By today's standard that people have been so brainwashed into, they look at people like David or Jacob or any of these men from the past that had more than one wife, and they say and they believe, well, they were committing adultery because they had more than one wife. No, that's just the brainwash that you've been taught. Like David had a wife that she didn't act right, and he pretty much banished her. I banish you to the tower, bitch! Well, we'll make it a little more King James Version oriented. I banish thee to the tower, you unsavory woman. He didn't divorce her, like everybody does today. Guilty and glad. And I really like it when the religious people say, well, they had more than one wife because it was just for that time, and it was, God didn't care about it because it was just for that time or whatever. People are ridiculous. I'm not telling you go out and go get a bunch of wives. But I'm not telling you you can't. Hey, if you can pull that off, you're Mac Daddy, you're a stud, go for it. Have at it. Now, the odds of you finding more than one woman that will be cool with that are pretty slim because of how brainwashed people are today. Now, if you were a priest, you were only allowed one wife, which is understandable because if you were really a priest of God, you're not going to have time for one wife. You're going to be doing all the service, which relates to the New Testament standard of why people say you can only have one wife, because if you are a member in position in a church, then you're not even going to have time for that one wife, and she's going to have to be pretty understanding anyway for all the service that you would be doing. Now, I'm not talking about phony baloney world church that you know now. I'm talking about God's real church. If you are a member of position in that church, a priest, even today, you're probably not even going to have time for that one wife. So why do you need more than one? Got a crow outside. 2 crows. Did God tell any man to go divorce his wife? It just depends on how you understand what a wife is or what a wife isn't. In a lot of cases, all the situation is an animal got with an animal based off of animal senses, and that really wasn't the dude's wife. Even though they got married and it was on paper and all that good stuff, they just get divorced anyway. So then the cycle of divorce produces all this adultery because you know they're not going to stay unmarried, they're going to go do their thing. Moses commanded men to put their wives away because of the hardness of their hearts. They didn't have no godly mind to be able to even pick a real wife. Like I said, they just, oh, you look good, you'll do, let's get married. hate each other. Let me get me another one. Divorce you. Find me another one. That's where you get that. Because of the hardness of your hearts. Now, in the beginning, before God separated woman from the man, just to get the time frame right, he made them male and female. No, this does not support no transgender bullcrap stupidity. But if you understand what that means, that he made them male and female, then you can understand one man, one woman, one wife. But even that lesson or that teaching of in the beginning God made them male and female is not about a flesh thing. It's still about a spirit thing. And they two shall be one flesh. And if you think that means this, I want you to take your hand and slap yourself really hard, multiple times. That's not what that means. If you want to go into the spiritual side of it, it means one. I've signed that stupid paper 3 times in my life, and it's a stupid world contract. And I also got rid of 2 of them. Ooh. Well, I didn't understand these things at the time, and neither am I just saying, oh, I got away with it. Believe me, I escaped it, but there's always something going to get you. And they already got me, and I already paid for it. Not the worst thing I've done in my life. Hey, one time I even took a man's wife from him. I don't recommend doing that. Neither am I justifying the situation, but I really did him a favor because she was a whore. What is this, confession hour? Hey, do you think we could get a confessional door that will open up a little easier than that? Yes, what is it, my child? Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Okay, my child, what I want you to do is stand up, walk out of this room, and slap yourself 30 times. Be blessed. Do you think I'm giving you the free ticket to just go out and do whatever you want? No, man. The point of this being that if you have a confliction between the old and the new, and you think things like, well, this changed for the time and this and that, then it's just the truth of you need to really understand the law, which you can't do by just reading it and doing it. You can't just read it and say, oh, this is what it says, so this is what I must do. No, you got to really understand what you even read. No, I'm not trying to get you bound under the law. But there is the law of the Spirit, and there is the law of the letter. Yes, and you heard me correct. I said, bitch. Just get over it. Thanks for watching.